G'day, Ray Thistlethwayte here, and I just decided to make a video for the afternoon because I had the afternoon off. Girlfriend's out at lunch. Decided that I'd splay all these headphones up on the stairs. I've got this pair. It's an Oppo PM-3. I've got this pair, DT880 premium model, 250 ohm. I've got this here. This is a Super Lux 662F closed back headphone, another closed back headphone, the old DT770 Pro by Beyerdynamic. I've got these things which are Plantronics wireless, sort of like a sport headphone which runs on Bluetooth. Backbeat Fit it's called. These things, which are, you'd classify these as a gaming headphone with your headset there. That's called a Cloud Alpha or something like that. I got that in a got that in a raffle at a beer sort of event that I went to. $100 went to charity, and bought a raffle ticket. Got those in the prize, which was pretty cool. I only listened to them once. These are Shure 530s, which is the model before the 535s, which are a well-known in-ear monitor style sound isolating earbud. I've got these, which were given to me a month ago from a flight from Los Angeles to Stockholm, Sweden. Scandinavian Airlines, and what I like about these is they have that little jack at the the 3.5mm thing, as opposed to the headphone, the airline thing that you need. I've got these Big Daddies. Oh God, back's gonna give out on me. Focal Utopia. This is a very high-end headphone. It's a beryllium driver thing, made in France. Lambskin, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be all right. I've got these. These are classic in-ear monitors. Ray T, it says on that. JH Audio. I'll open them up. These are JH16 molded custom in-ear monitors. Those don't fit so well anymore because my ears have got they keep growing your entire life, and they do advise that every number of years you're going to probably have to get your molds done again. So the fit isn't as good as they were, but I've played a million professional music situations with these on stage over the years. I got these. These are somewhat of a backup pair of the JH Audio 16s. This is just an Audio Technica just. Like I'm starting to rate things already. What's better than what? Well, by the way, this is not about what's better than what. It's just a bit of a show and tell, and me to just comment on a bit of how I feel about these various products. I'm not going to go into all of that other stuff. There's a million opportunities to do that on the internet. So this might be a little superfluous for people who are looking for correct tech specs and all that kind of stuff. I do know various bits of information about all of these things, but I am not researched enough, and I don't have the time, effort, or money to outlay that into this sort of level of review. It's not that kind of thing. I think they all make sound. It's just sound. It sounds good, or it sounds not as good, but come on, it's music to our ears. It's all good. But these are really good. ATH E40. They're universal fit, dual driver, sound isolating, professional in-ear monitors for your listening pleasure. Up here, this is a Shure case which used to house these 530s, but one of the sides, the wiring's not working on that, so I had to retire those. They're going to sit up there. And then I've got a pair of IE4s by Sennheiser in here, which are also sound isolating. These just come with in-ear monitors. If you buy like a transmitter pack, if you're going to be taking that on stage, you get a pair of these. If you want to buy them, they're about 65 bucks or 49 bucks, depending on where you get them from. And surprisingly amazing. And they do sound good. Single driver, dynamic driver, good old music getting injected into your old noggin. And these, got these yesterday, which is probably one of the reasons I thought I'd like to talk about them. I just thought it's getting a little out of hand, this collection, so I thought maybe I'd also include these in the mix. I've had these for about 24 hours, and these are somewhat of an upgrade from the 535s by Shure. They're also, I guess you could call them professional in-ear monitors. You can use them on stage, but these are a sort of combination of balanced armature driver, sound isolating or noise isolating in-ear monitors. They're called the Shure 846. I believe they are somewhat of a flagship. Sort of earbud style thing by Shure. Now, there's other ones that I have, but they're in my Los Angeles studio, and I've got to give them a notable mention. The Sennheiser HD25, semi-open, brilliant pair of cans, and also the HD300 Pro. I believe they're somewhat of a sort of inspired version of the 250 linears or something, which is a set of cans that came out in the 90s or something. I don't know. I like the sound of them. Guess what? I like the sound of earphones and headphones and earbuds and IEMs and CIEMs, and I don't know, I just like the sound of various things coming out of speakers, like we all do. So anyway, where would you go from here? I guess you'd start to describe what you think is your favourite. Well, you don't have a favourite. It's like kind of like parents choosing their kids or something. You sort of want to love them all equally because they're all good for what they are. Some of them are so cumbersome to put on, you'd never take them out on a walk going down to the cafe. For instance, these focals. You're not going to take them out. They're massive. You look like Princess Leia or something. These you might take out, you know. Great. Small. You know, very transportable. If you're flying on a plane. Oh yeah, there's other notable mentions. A pair of the Fostex, I don't know what they're called, T40RP, I think they're called. My old favourites, the old girls. Used to wear those to do my vocal tracking all the time. And yeah, closed back, very comfortable, and they're in Los Angeles as well. Wish I had them here today. Also there's, well, that's all I really have, I think. Oh, forgot. The always on yous. There's always got to be a pair of always on yous. Now we're going with these. Wired iPhone, dual driver with the little talkie thing. Always in the old fob pocket. Useful. Sound great actually. I've A, B, C, D, E, F, J'd them, and they all sound good, depending on what you're looking for. Also, bought my girlfriend a pair of the Bose QC35 Mark IIs. A lot of people swear by them. My mate Mick, my mate Phil, these guys all use those things. I don't have any true wireless buds in this collection at all, and you might note that there's no noise cancelling of any type in here. Hey, that might change, but I don't know. At this point, I'm wired for sound. Anyway, let's just pick and choose. What do I like about these? Well, they strike the balance between the portability thing and, you know, a great sound. PM3s, if you're sort of into your stuff sounding great and having a good time and partying while you're on the road, but you don't want to sort of put up with things that you have to stick in your ear holes, then these are bloody awesome. PM-3s. They make PM-2s and PM-1s, but these are the most affordable ones. Unfortunately, Oppo's not making them anymore, but you can find pairs of them around. They come in a nice case. Good vibe. Probably, in a way, the best all-round everything for sort of just my opinion of sort of the, you know, all the different criteria that you usually want to throw when you're making a decision about getting a pair of headphones. These are almost one of those tick the boxes vibes for me. They're closed back so you can wear them on the train and not annoy people. You could probably do a bit of mixing on the road with them if you wanted, and they're pretty comfortable. I wish these were working better, these things, because they're, you know, they've got 8 little drivers in each side. And by the way, drivers per side, it's a little bit like how many megapixels on a camera. It's a bit of crap. I think that the more this and the more that, everyone goes on about it, but it's not true. I think it's just whatever you like, whatever blows your hair back. For instance, these things here, that's a dynamic driver headphone, focal. They make great speakers, make a whole bunch of great headphones, and yeah, one driver. You only need one. Most transportable at this point, no wires. They're cool, you know. When they're on, you sort of wrap around there, they bounce around the back of your head a bit. Some people don't like that, but I like it. It's like getting a neck massage. But yeah, sound of these, out of all of them, unfortunately, unless you really jam them in, which you're not going to do if you're walking around, the bass will require you to get into your Spotify or whatever you're using. You'll probably have to change the EQ in your own settings there to sort of probably bring them back to even close to what you're normally listening to, even if you averaged out all these other headphones in terms of a sonic signature. Now, these, the blue guys here, the SAS freebies that I got on the flight from LA to Stockholm, Scandinavian Airlines, given to every person on the plane. Now, look, I'm going to say this, Stockholm, best city in the world. I play Nord keyboards, made in Stockholm, Sweden. Some of the best keyboards money can buy. The people, every person I met, absolute sweethearts. Scandinavian Airlines, seamless, amazing service, everything. But these are the worst sounding headphones I think I've ever heard in my life. And therefore, they're one of my favourite headphones because similar to Oratones, or Horatones as they sometimes call them in the industry, you know, a deliberate grot box style speaker, which is sort of, speaking of grotty, they've got so much ear crap in them. But yeah, they sound almost so bad. It's one of those sort of yardsticks. If you can get these to sound, or get a piece of music to sound good on them, then you sort of know that they're probably going to sound good on, well, just better on every other pair of headphones. So because of that, I sort of almost don't want these to break. I think they're probably made for cheap money because they're given away on the airlines and people just don't even open them and they just chuck them away, and the hygiene of people putting them in their ears means you can't really, you know, recycle them or anything. So, you know, it's one of those things that they probably have to keep the cost down in making a thing like this. And this is from the economy cabin. I wasn't on the premium or anything. So these are probably the low-end ones that you get. Some airlines give you noise cancelling stuff, which is awesome. But I've got to say, it was weird when I first plugged them in to my phone. I was wondering whether the connection had actually gone into the phone, because the EQ of these, the equalisation in my head that was actually being played through the headphones, reminded me so much of just what comes out of a phone when there's no headphones into them that I thought, are they even plugged in? So that's just something to note about these. I don't know, what else? These 662 Super Lux. sort of almost look like they're inspired by the AKG style. Those 240s or whatever they are. I love those, by the way, they're great. But these things, 49 bucks I got from Stage Door Rehearsal Studio. I was just about to do a gig, and to be honest, cables going everywhere here. I was going to use these. I'd just hired myself a room. These are the JH Audio JH16 Pros. I was going to use them for the gig, but because your ears keep growing through your life, there were bloody air spaces, and every time I sang a high note, that cavity would open up, ears would open up, I could hear what was going on in the rehearsal room. I thought, that's not going to be good on stage. I need a cheap pair of headphones. The bloke there, KO, he said to me, why don't you get these, they're 50 bucks. I said, oh, what do they sound like? He said, I don't know. I said, oh well, I'll grab them. Put them on my head, they felt pretty cool, not too uncomfortable at all. They're just big old muffs. Played the gig with them that night. Right as rain. That was cool. Since then I've read a little bit about them, and people say they are one of those bang for buck things. We're all in a bang for buck, God. What else? Unsung heroes. Unsung heroes. By the way, I also have a pair of HD25 Sennheisers in my storage unit down the road, but I just didn't want to climb over all those boxes and get into that pile of dust and everything. I had to pull them out. Plus, some of the pads are dead on them. The drivers work perfectly. They clamp the crap out of your head, but that can be a good thing, by the way. I used to wear them on a lot of tours when I was in the car. I needed to block out the noise of cars going by, conversation, other music people listen to it in the car. As much as I love what everybody listened to in the car, it was, many hours and miles on the road. You sort of sometimes got to get a bit of your own space. Albums like the Arcade Fire's, one of the really good ones. Listen to that on the HD25s, and that got burned into my brain. So indelible. These comfortable as you feel like you're wearing koala skin when you got these on. They're light as a feather. Beautiful grey and silver. They don't clamp at all. I know the Pros do. The Pros clamp a little bit more. I've got the Pros in LA as well. Too many pairs of headphones. You should see my girlfriend's shoe collection though. That's over there. I don't even think she'd let me go through that. That's ridiculous. That's even more shoes than I have headphones. But anyway, these are just fantastic. I'd sort of liken them to in the sort of same vibe as your HD600 Sennheisers, or semi-open kind of design. Beautiful. Just sound good. Bass, mids, treble, air, sub bass, warmth, punch. Other words that describe music. Clarity, smiley face, V-neck, U-boat. I mean, words. Nothing means anything. But they sound good. Now, what other ones have I tried? A few. I was in New York the other day, and I went to one of the high-end audiophile stores there, and I put on Dark Side of the Moon, classic of course, on a nice amp in there, and I was listening to Audizzy, I think that you pronounce it, LCDX. Mate, it blew my head off with beauty. It was beautiful. It was like jumping into a pool of the best champagne you've ever jumped into, with like 17 mermaids. And I said to the guy, these are bloody amazing. And he said, yep, they are. A friend of mine the other day got pair of the LCD2 closed back. LCD2C, I think they are. Amazing. Those guys make amazing stuff. Don't have any. The only thing that's in the sort of realm of that sort of level of stuff here is these Focal Utopias. That would be classified as a very high-end, not a cheap headphone. The way I describe the sound of those, if you're listening to, let's say, a song, it turns that song into a blockbuster. You know, it's sort of like just listening to a normal song and then suddenly you knew it all along, and then you listen to it and it's almost like it's been, you know, directed by the best movie director, and it's been promoted with a massive campaign, and you're in the cinemas watching it going, wow, I want to see that movie. That's what listening to a song like those on those is like, and it's pretty inspiring, to be honest. And last night, the bloke that I bought those 846s from, those Shure 846s, he gave me a little run on a thing called an HD25, which is a Sennheiser pair of headphones, and I'll tell you what, that was an experience. It just sounded very honest, massive, had all of that girth you want, but it was just real, and I liked it. I wasn't really comparing it to too much stuff except those 846s, and it's a different universe when you're talking about stuff that goes right in your head versus things that sit right outside your head. But anyway, the only thing I haven't talked about much in this is, I guess, these things, the DT770 Pros. And, mate, Old Faithful, yet again, more koala skin. Oh! Got the old curly cable. These are a bit more clampy. How would I describe the sound different with these versus these? Same family, same brand, German. Well, these sound good and these sound good. Different good. Good different. A bit different. Quite different. If you want to hone in more different. But anyway, I've seen people get on the reviews on these headphone things, and what they do is they'll turn them on and they'll say this is good, this is bad, this is worse, this is whatever. I'm here to just spread the love. This is all stuff that's good. It's nice to own a few pairs. You only really need one pair of headphones. Obviously, you're only going to be probably wearing one pair at a time because you only got two ears, so it's a bit silly. I say that to my girlfriend sometimes with the shoe thing, you know, you only got 2 feet. But I guess when I look at this headphone collection, having 2 ears and having all of these, I'm sort of thinking to myself, well, now I understand what she's going through with the shoe thing. And yeah, it's fun. So happy listening, and yeah, if you've got any, I guess I was thinking maybe I would put this online, so if I do put it online, then maybe comment on it or whatever. And I'm sorry if I've completely wasted your time, because I didn't really do any listening, but I sort of figured if I was putting stuff on and listening to it and then kind of go, oh, this is what my opinion of it is. My opinion literally is useless. It is useless. My ears are good for certain things, you know, playing music in certain styles with certain you know, reasoning for my listening background, but I'm not going to tell someone you're wrong, you're right. You know, it's part of what I don't like about this whole game. You can't be judgmental when they're all doing things which we love. They're all reproducing sound, and as I said, it's only sound. Tell that to someone who's got a starter pistol and they're fucking, you know, firing it in your ear. It's only sound. But still, it's all good sound. It's music to our ears, and I thought it'd be pretty boring, or just as boring at least, as listening to me crap on about all this stuff, and having me actually showing you on a video of me listening to things and kind of trying to like describe it in some sort of way. Because really, it's just, if you enjoy what you're doing, then, and I'm talking about, you know, you could be into bungee jumping, or, you know, pole vaulting, or flying aeroplanes, or, you know, making model aeroplanes. You know, if you enjoy stuff, then do it. If it's really bad for your health, then think about not doing it so much. But if you are into it, then maybe, yeah, keep doing it for a while. And I'll shut up now, but yeah, thanks for, if you've got to this point, then hey, you probably had the afternoon off like I did. See you soon. Where the hell's the off button? Alright, see you.